It is a great Wednesday for many, many reasons. Brad Sussmat with you, pros2preps.com. One of the big reasons is I'm sitting across from Jake Plummer. Got a text from Jake about a week ago. He said, let's meet up and have something to eat. And I threw a couple restaurants at him. He threw a couple of ideas at me. And here we are in the studios. I like this. What are you in town for?
I came back for the ASU football reunion they have every year. And just come see some old buddies and check out the football team, and going to actually get a chance to sit down and meet up. Or I've met him before, but sit down and spend some good time with Taylor Kelly.
Really?
Who's an Idaho boy himself. Yeah. So, there's interest, a little bit of interest there, special interest for me. And, yeah, just coming back to get some sunshine and see some old buddies.
Jake Plummer in studio with Brad Sussmat. Right now you're in Boulder, right?
Yep.
Moved out of Idaho. Why'd you leave Idaho?
Well, it was tough. My wife's from Colorado. She lives outside of Denver in a little town called Fort Morgan. So, she wanted to get back by mom and dad a little bit, and I loved it in Denver. I loved that, being along the Front Range there, the mountains, the escapability to go up into the mountains and play, and also just all the things you got with the big city in Denver. And Boulder's a college town with a lot going on. It's just a nice place to live, and it's nice to have a change once in a while. And I love Idaho. I'm an Idaho boy from, long time back, and I always will be. We might find ourselves back there someday, but for now we're in Colorado living in a pretty awesome place.
What are you, 38 now?
Yep, 38.
God, I've known you almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And you're dealing now, I wouldn't say dealing, you're in that space in life, Jake, that's pretty interesting. That is post-NFL career.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do a whole bunch of things. What do you want to do? Where's your head at now post-NFL career? Why haven't you gone into coaching or broadcasting, all that stuff?
I could spend a long time telling you why I haven't done this or that, but mostly it's just having the initiative and really needing to go do something, needing to go get involved. I think a little bit of what lit my fire this year was working with Colin Klein, the quarterback from K-State.
Right.
A great kid, a great talent that's being overlooked by the so-called gurus and experts. And I got a chance to just, spit some knowledge to him about the game and what he can do to get better and get prepared for what's going to happen. April 25th is the draft, I think, the 25th. And what happens after that is, it's a whirlwind. So I was just trying to prepare him for that. And that was a lot of fun. It really was it was a good time for me. It wasn't, coaching for an NFL team or a college team. You have to be there at 6 and you don't leave till 10 or 12 or 1.
Right.
Because you're just, the pressure to win and perform is so grand. I've had that pressure on me and I didn't respond well. I'm done having to live under that pressure, but to work with a kid like him and do what I felt was right for him and work him out and get him better and give him the confidence he needed to go to that next level. Kind of got me going and wanting to get involved in a little bit of something like that. And football has been a big part of my life. So, to shut it out like I did for 4 or 5 years after I retired, I needed that to purge it out of my system, to get away from it, to now go back to games, to go to the Bronco games or go to some college games and to experience what it felt like when I was playing, that excitement, the smells, the sounds, that hope that every person coming in, whether you're rooting for the home team or the visitor team, that the hope and the belief that your team's going to win that day, that is a real powerful energy. And I think to get back around that in some form is what I'm looking to possibly do. And right now, just kind of working my way back into it and see where I want to go with it.
You were telling me off the air, you actually went to a Broncos game as a fan.
Yeah.
They recognize you walking in the parking lot. You do the ball cap and not shave for 5 days. And
well, the best game I went to was the playoff game against the Ravens. That was pretty awesome, and it was really cold, so everybody was bundled up. I mean, you could have been a supermodel and no one would have known because you had on 15 layers of
clothes. You're no supermodel,
exactly.
Neither am I, but yeah.
But I was in line and the people standing around me. We were having fun. I had a pretty good stash of Bud Lights, so I was sharing them with my fans.
You were
Bronco
tailgating?
Fans. Yeah, it was a good time. And
pulled up and opened the back of the truck. And
yeah,
the whole tent. Do you have a hibachi, Jake?
I made some chili and had it in a crock pot.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
Jake's chili in a crock pot at a Bronco game.
I never got to experience that. My family would come to games. My friends would come to the game I was playing in, and it was the experience I went through was like nothing anybody that doesn't play football, you don't know what it's like to play. And to play on game day is amazing. But it's also the fun side of it outside the stadium. I believe wholeheartedly that the energy that my fans had pregame, during the game, they believed in me. They said, "Come on, Jake, get it done. Come on, we believe in you." I felt that energy on the field, and I knew that they were there rooting for me. And I don't think through my career, had I not had the fans that I had, I would not have had the success I had on the field and off of it. So, that to be that fan now, to go to games is really fun for me because it brings back all the good memories I had of playing. You sit and watch a game and you hear analysts and coaches talk about a guy not performing. Those things I got tired of, not being good enough, not being perfect, not executing the exact game plan how a coach wanted. But going to the game, it's just a lot of fun again to hear it and see it and smell it.
So when Peyton Manning threw the pick, did you put your hands on top of your head like a fan and said, "Oh, how did he do? Why did he? Who was he throwing to? What was he thinking?"
No, that's not the way I approach it. I was more like, I was a little shocked that he of all players would make that throw, but
yeah,
it just goes to show even the greatest, some people consider the greatest, can try. All he was trying to do was make a play, and sometimes it doesn't happen. The other team's trying to keep you from making a play. So it was one of the best football games I've ever seen, and actually was able to be at live with my dad, my father-in-law, and another good friend. I mean, that was awesome. I wasn't rooting. I was pulling for the Broncos, obviously. I mean, I played for the Broncos. Right. I was happy to see them winning. I love Mr. Bolin and Elway, what he's doing there. It's a great town for football. I wanted to just see a great game, and we got as much football as you could ask for in that game. And I was just kind of bummed that he did make that throw because, that they had such a great team. It would have been fun to see them go all the way. I did go to the Super Bowl this year with my brothers and my best friend and had tickets, went through the whole thing again, and would have liked to have seen them playing in the Super Bowl. But, it was fun. It was a very good experience. I bumped into fans. They were kind of shocked that I was just out in the stands hanging out. I didn't have security and people protecting me and standing between my
That's
fans.
not you.
It's my fans.
It's never been you.
I'm not scared of my fans. I mean, if they still don't like me or are mad at the way it went down, I tell them already, get over it. I'm over what happened with Shanahan at the end of my career. If I'm over it and I can move on past it, then you need to too. If not, you got some problems.
That's a good way to put it. Jake Plummer with us in studio for a couple of minutes with Brad Sussmat. He's in town for the ASU scrimmage on Saturday. You going to take a snap in the scrimmage?
No.
They're going to.
I might play catch with a couple guys, but I'm not. I'm past those days.
Yeah. And you follow it closely, and I know that you and I have chatted through the years by phone, I might add. It's great to have you in studio, but from a distance on the issues that were going on at ASU and how the program had bottomed out. Last year they came back up. I really sense here in town, and actually across the state, that there's so much more interest in the program. It's getting, I'm not going to say it's where it was when you played, but the ball is definitely rolling in the right direction. Yeah,
well, people tend to forget the 3 years leading up to my senior year in the Rose Bowl when we almost won the national title. And we had a few years where we had to build, and we weren't the team we were my senior year, those 3 years prior. I mean, we battled, we played hard, but we were 3-8 my sophomore year. I mean, it takes some time to build something that everyone expects to happen so soon. And the turnaround was pretty immediate here, and I think Coach Graham, when I met him last year, it was pretty apparent he has a lot of energy. I mean, the guy's got enough energy to motivate, to spend those hours and do everything that a head coach has to do now to build a program.
It's not false bravado either. It's not false.
No, I haven't been around him enough, but I've heard enough about him through other people that I trust that say it's not. I mean, it's his passion. I mean. It's his passion, And when you're passionate about something, there's nothing false about it. And you can tell that he has a passion for the game. He wants to win. I haven't been out to a practice and seen how he coaches the kids, but I'm going to be at a couple while I'm here, and I'll be able to get even a better feel for him and see how he coaches. And I think it's exciting to see it happen. It's about time. It's time that the team, this city has a college team they can count on to be a winner year in and year out. And there's no reason why kids wouldn't want to come to school here and try to play for a great program.
Is your jersey retired yet at ASU?
No. They shouldn't. I don't believe
do you
in
mean
retiring.
they shouldn't?
I don't
What are
believe
you
in retiring a
talking
jersey,
about?
man. You know,
Get out of here.
You got to see numbers on the field, and then that makes you remember a guy when you see some kid wearing it. You know.
Are you serious?
I had one good year, Brad. You know, it was just one good year. Really.
You did a lot for this community, though, Jake.
Hell yeah! I mean, I've been with the Cardinals for 6 years after. You know that you know the time I had here. You know, it was big because from my days as a Sun Devil onto with the Cardinals, and we had a couple really good years. The playoff run with the Cardinals and the Rose Bowl year. You know, that's out of those years, those were the ones people remember, and it was a good time. And hey, I know that I had a lot of guys around me that, you know, are the reason why I had fun. I mean, or why I had as much success and had a lot of fun. You know, I had a lot of great players around me on both the Sun Devil squad and the Cardinals. So
who's the guy that you look at that it could have been either with the Cardinals or ASU that you look at now in life and you're saying, that guy is just killing it. I'm so happy for him. There could be many of them, but do you have one or two? And it could be ASU or the Cardinals.
You know, I mean, I'll have to say I haven't kept in touch with every one of the guys I played with, but, you know, just see a lot of the guys around. I know a lot of guys are doing well. You know, it's fun for me, too. Lately, I've seen more of my old coaches around, you know, like Jeep Christ with the Niners now, and he was my coach with the Cardinals. QB coach, you know, he's having a lot of success and having a lot of fun. And
his son is supposedly a big-time quarterback.
He's a stud.
Big-time quarterback.
Yeah, so, you know, I've been able to reconnect with Jeep and Danny Cazzetto and, you know, those guys. And, I mean, I've always still been friends with my, you know, the players. I see them here and run around with a few of them here and there. And, you know, one of my best friends, Isaiah Mustafa, I mean, he's doing really well. And pursuing his acting career. He's in Hollywood doing the thing.
We saw the Old Spice stuff.
Yeah, you know, he's gone on and been in some movies, and he's having a lot of fun, and he's really enjoying his life. Another guy who was a walk-on quarterback, Gus Farwell. Mm-hmm. He's pursuing a singing career. He can sing. I mean, he's really, really good. He was here in March at the fight night, and he got up on stage and performed. And when you get a chance to do that at fight night, you obviously you're talented. So it's just a matter of time for him, you know. And so it's fun to see him doing really well. And you know, I get to see a bunch of guys while I'm here. You know, Steve Bush, Sean Swada, and you know, I don't know who I'm going to bump into, but that's the fun part of coming back is you get to reconnect. And whether it's once a year or more times than that, it's always fun to see my old buddies.
Jake Plummer with us. He's in town for a number of reasons. In studio with Brad Susmat, Pros 2 Preps. Appreciate his time for a few minutes. Before I get you out of here, personally, married, with one, expecting one, right?
Yeah.
And the whole fatherhood thing, okay? So you have a 2-year-old, so you're not quite there yet with the T-ball and all that stuff. Tell me about the fatherhood side for you.
Oh, it's a blast. It's definitely football was easy compared to being a father. You know, you get to go out and practice, and you get it coached up and watch film. And you know, when you become a father, it's live in the moment. You have to really, you know, be on point. And I think having a child really, for me, has exposed me to some of my traits or habits that I'm not too proud of or would like to get rid of. But
stubbornness or.
You see it in your child, you know. I mean, you see things that you don't necessarily care for in yourself that you see. Yeah, exactly. You see the traits in them, but there's also so many beautiful things that he does that obviously are a part of me and my wife. That he's just a sweet, special little guy, and you know, being a father is a lot of fun. It's definitely, like everyone said, there's nothing like it. You can't prepare for it. You just have to be ready for it and, you know, give them all the love you can, and that's what I try to do.
And you have another one in August, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you know what you're having, boy or girl, yet?
We're having a child.
Having a child, that's what that's going to be.
We don't know.
The sport's going to be in their future, or do you want them to do some other things in life, do you think?
Whatever they want to do. I mean, I think my wife danced her whole life, was into all sorts of dancing. And so, I mean, my son already has a pair of tap shoes, so I mean, dancing is a great form of expression.
Sure.
You have to be very athletic to dance. And sports, I'm sure, will be on his horizon. All of his cousins play sports. I played football. I mean, as far as him playing football, I don't know. We'll see. He might want to play. I don't know if he'll like getting hit very hard, but we'll see what happens. It's such a long ways away that I just want to pursue, push him, or not push him, but guide him into whatever he wants and likes, and hopefully keep him interested and wanting to do more. That's all you want to do.
I'll see you at the scrimmage on Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Brad.
Jake Plummer in studio. Appreciate him coming by for a few minutes in the Valley. It's always good to catch up with Jake the Snake.